How are we this morning? I want to extend my welcome to everyone this morning, colleagues, exhibitors that is here today for the Wellness Day. Thank you for those that also made it possible. We are really in a fortunate position for the company to have made this day available to us. So I'm just here to give you some house rules on the safety side. Maar voordat ik begin, wil ek net so 'n bietjie break. Ons is mos nou op 'n health day. We are on a health day. So last month, so last month was most Bride Day, the 24th of September. So last month I decided that I'm gonna make and start and see how this journey goes for my health. So in plaas dat ek nou liedjie opgelos het op die hoende by die braai stand, I decided to take off the skin. I substituted my lekker boerewors for a nice sausage and hy lekker fikkie aan die choppie. I cut that away. So for you guys that know me, you know me mos. I also like to club in, soos hulle sê. But there's been some changes. There's been some changes. Since that time until now, my overall jacket was not able to close. I walk like this on the plant, you know mos. But look at this now. They say the proof is in the pudding. Nee? The proof is in the pudding. So yeah, I used to take 3 sugars in my coffee, nee? But now I only take 1 sugar. Nee, it's those small changes that I've done. It was not long ago. Friday was last month, nee? It was not long ago, but there has been changes, nee? So I also want to encourage all of us today. We are in a wellness day, so when you leave here today, at least you have gained some knowledge on how to do things better, like myself, substituting. There's still other things, maybe the Coke, kan ek bietjie uitskakel, die gaskoeldrink, but I'm gonna get there, nee? Small increments. You take it day by day. That is my share in terms of my wellness. Let's go over to safety. I think the safety share is also in terms of the safety rules on site. Let's start with the smoking area. You must know where the smoking area is for our visitors. To the southern side of the tent, that is where our smoking area is situated. We also have rules pertaining to cell phones. No walking while stalking, and no walking and texting on your mobile device. Also, as you can see, the surfaces, it is a bit rugged, uneven surfaces. So just keep your eyes on task. Also for the exhibitors of those staff, even that's coming on stage, also check there's 3 steps here, eyes on path also in this area, or also MC in terms of safety. Also, if you're going to use the walkways, remain in the walkways outside. There is vehicles also passing on the site. Also, we would like to keep this area, which is identified as our triage emergency area, the L-shaped area from behind the clinic to where the smoking area is. Please, no parking allowed to obstruct that area. Then also, we are at the emergency assembly point. So where the tent has been pitched, 50% of the emergency assembly point has footprint on the tent. So in a situation where we do end up with an emergency, there's 2 blasts that can go off. All employees use the exits. There's the exit at the back to the southern side, And then you must clock in your card at the turnstile to be registered into the safe zone. The exhibitors and the visitors, there is an attendance list. I think Lance has the attendance list with him, so we will use the attendance list to do attendance in an emergency. But no one in the tent. Everybody must evacuate the tent area. Then also, be your brothers and your sisters' keeper, especially to our visitors. If you see someone can do something better or safer, reach out to that person, be objective, and make them aware of their safety. We also have an urn there where we make coffee. That urn tends to boil and give off steam. Just also watch out for that hazard there on the coffee side at the back. There's also cables running overhead. Also look out for the cables not to trip and fall if you are making your way in the tent. Yeah, as we say, let us leverage one of our pillars on our strategic management that was communicated. Let us leverage what makes us unique. Yeah, as a smelter, we are unique. We focus on safety, and let us enjoy the day. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Can we put our hands together one more time? Ja, ek is ook net so wel. Ek het nog nie die stukkie veertjie afgelos nie. Die veertjie nie, but I'm just so well. As long as it is well with my soul. That's hoe wel ek is. Now, yesterday's crowd was crazy. Ons het ons so geniet. So, I have the privilege of introducing a lot of people the whole time, besides myself. So nou is julle plig, it's your duty. It's duty. It's your duty to help me, welcome me. You getting what I'm saying? You guys need to help me, welcome me. All right? So this is how we're going to do this. Can you guys help me, please? Ooh, die manne lyk baie dinge ons gaan nou losmaak hierso. Can you help me, please? Guys, you know the song, Hey Jude. Na, 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 na. You guys know the song? Na, 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 na. Hey Jude. That's the song. That's the song. Maar nou Jude is hier nie. Jude is not here. But Q is here. So we're going to sing na, 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 na. Can we rehearse? Can we rehearse? This is not like my opening song. You guys pretend like I'm this famous MC. And you, can we do that? Okay, so it's na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, Q. All right, let's practice. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, Q. Here, ek prys jy gaan die uit. So now what's going to happen? I'm there. Then the music starts. Then I say, ladies and gentlemen, your MC for the Wellness Day 2024, Day 2, none other than Quata Marias. Then you guys sing and you go crazy. You clap hands, you cry, you kiss me, you put money in my pockets. You do whatever you feel like. It's you. Sorry, here we go. Not yet, Mr. DJ. You're not yet. Okay. But look to the front, man. It's a surprise. I say, hoe koos julle dat so? Look to the front. It's a surprise. So I come here, and then when I'm in, you surprised together. Okay. Guys, please. There's people that knows me here. Don't stick me in the scandal, please. All right. Must the DJ play that funky music? All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your empty for the day, Quantum Mania! Are you see? You can. it one more time. Now give yourselves a good round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Quentin Manuels. I am your MC for the day. And I thank you. And I thank myself. Ladies and gentlemen, the main man is here. The site director is here. Put your hands together for none other than Ibon! Come on, peeps! I might arrange with such a lekker klap.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So first, I'm going to start by saying we must a learning organization. So I've learned from AX Speech yesterday. So I've also put on a new shirt that's wider. We've got you there. That's the trick. I've learned that now. Listen, people, welcome. I'm really glad that there's such a good outcome this morning, even better than yesterday. So fantastic that you're here. And thanks for giving us the time. To all the exhibitors, again, I thank you yesterday. I don't know if there's any new ones today, but again, thanks for coming on day 2. It's obviously wasn't too bad that you made it for a second round. We really appreciate that you came along. Is it okay if we just tell him how cool we are, employees, what the stuff that we make? I'm going to do it for a reason. Because if we convince them how good we are and how important we are in their lives, maybe the banks give you a better interest rate. I got to try, right? So I would like the exhibitors to focus now. I would like you to tell you of the people in front of you. And it's, how does it go? If you know your customer, you probably know better how to treat them and how to give them a service. No? So your customers here, the Tronox group, I mentioned it yesterday as well. We are the best industrial site in South Africa. And then people thought, it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's actually real. Right? We are, in my opinion, no. Facts are facts. Nothing to do with my opinion. This is one of the benchmark sites in the world due to the great people that's sitting here. So what are we doing? I would like to tell you where our products end up. And sorry guys, we've done it just now with the rollout of the strategy session, but I think it's important for them to also understand. Do you guys know that our products end up on your body, inside your body, right? Inside your car, inside your house, and underneath your feet every day of your life? Did you know that? Okay, so let me tell you why I say that. So, we produce pigment that makes the world white. Sounds funny, but yeah, I don't know if that was politically correct. Okay, that wasn't how it was meant to be. So, for all white pigment is made from titanium. Né? So, I told my employees as well, remember paper is brown, also toilet paper. It's white because it's titanium. Right, so we there, right? Toothpaste is white because there's titanium in which we produce. So we inside your mouth. When you get up in the morning, you go to the toilet, we're there. When you go and brush your teeth, we inside your mouth, right? When you walk in your bathroom, the tiles are made of zircon, which we produce. So you step on our products, right? Then, some of us are very privileged. Is Wynand here? Sorry, Wynand. Some of us have titanium inside our bodies. No? The knees and the elbows, those screws are made from titanium. Hey? Amazing. Some of you, like Steve, just flew from all over the world yesterday. He was flying in an airplane. Airplanes are made of titanium. It's our products. What else? Your car engine. Do you guys know that the engine block is made out of pig iron, which this site makes? Right? We make iron for engine blocks. If you see a Mercedes, that engine has been made with iron made on this site, not somewhere else in the world. Okay? So yeah, we in your car, we in your toothpaste, we in your paint, we on your paper, we inside your body sometimes. I forgot. For people who wear makeup. Makeup is made of titanium. Hey? All the guys who wear makeup secretly over weekends. It's there. Yeah? So I wanted to tell all the exhibitors that isn't that amazing? Did you guys know that? You didn't know that, no? Right here in the West Coast, this amazing team of people are producing all of those products that enhance your life. So we have our company, we have like a purpose, a vision, and a strategy. And our company's purpose, we say, the purpose of Tronox is to take the minerals of this world and in a responsible way, change it into products that enhance the lives of the world. Okay? But, and this is my last thing, where am I going? Apart from begging that you give these guys a good interest rate because they're such great people, where I'm going is that for us, if we make these fantastic products and enhance lives, but in the process, we leave a broken environment behind us, or we leave a broken community, or worse, we leave broken or sick or mentally ill employees behind, then it was not worthwhile. We have to take cognizance of the people that work here. All of you work under pressure, and I know it's a tough gig, right? But you're making the world a better place. But in the process, please, we must look after ourselves, and we must not be left broken. We must leave here better than the way that we came here. And that's our challenge, right? So for all of you who is here today, you made a big step in that direction. Please do those tests. Don't be like my brother. He had a cholesterol problem. And you know, in our age, Bernie will not know that yet, but at my age, we start to talk about our illnesses and pills and stuff. It becomes slowly part of the conversation. So we were talking about his cholesterol problem, and then the last time I saw him, I asked, hey, how's it going in cholesterol? He said, no, it's all good. Oh, okay. And I said, but what medication? I said, nothing. I just stopped testing. So now it's not, that's not a strategy, guys. That's not a good strategy. The right strategy is go for your test today, do the right thing, and then the next, after me, there's a fantastic speaker coming to the stage. Some of you know him, Steph. Let's be present, let's engage with him. He's going to touch that other, more important part of our lives. That's our well-being, the well-being part. So, yeah, just be present for the next hour, and thank you for being here, and thank you for all the great work that you're doing, and thank you, exhibitors, for all of what you're doing for our community, and for serving us as well. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Scholz. I was also there. Sorry, sir, that I didn't. I now released something there. And when I released the clutch control, was so quiet, you know. But that's titanium. Titanium. There goes the titanium volkie. Titanium breekies so lekker. So that's why the clutch control was a bit of a problem. You know, it glaze sometimes. So that's why I do automatic, although my surname is manuals. Yeah, I do automatic. I believe there's a few birthdays before we go over to our speaker. There's a few birthdays. Some of our La Vita ladies, there's guys over here. We want to say happy birthday. And we are so blessed that you are spending it with us. Can we put our hands together for them? I don't know their names. All of their names, but I will say congratulations. And you know, names change, man. I told the people yesterday, names change, you know, especially if you move towards the city. Names change. Jan is mostly Jan in the city. Jan is not Jan is Jean. Yeah. Sarah's also not Sarah. Let's say, Suru, Sai. Yeah, ons kan nog hier say Sarah, but as soon as you move to the city, it's Sarah Lee, and you know, toe kry ek vir Cookie, nou die dag. Cookie is from Beaufort. Cookie, kyk hier verby. Cookie! Huh? I ran up to Cookie. I said, Cookie, onthou jy nie meer verby nie? She said, no, I'm in town. You can't call me Cookie. Yeah? I said, no, what is your name? No, I said, my name is Muffin. Let's continue with the things. Let's continue. Leave it. Let's stay in the lane. I'm supposed to say who's next. What is your name? What's your name, sir? Renee. Renee. Now you see. That by me, it's just Renee. Now it's Renee. I'm yelling at them, all confused. Let's continue with this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the privilege. As you can see, our journey will be explained to you a bit later. Don't go after our keynote speaker. Don't go. We've got a whole program for you. And I see there's a few guys that's sitting, because you need to go test and you want to make a loan and you want to make this. That's your focus for wellness. The only way you're going to get well if that loan is approved. So just hold on. Just hold on. We're almost there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this next gentleman I'm going to introduce to you, he needs no introduction in the world. I'm not only talking about Saldanha, Fjaldrecht, Mikey's Fontaine, Lourie's Fontaine. I'm talking about in the world. So, go Google him, check him out, because the resume, CV, everything. Hy is ook, what you call if you bake a cake, everything. Everything. So this guy is going to change your life. I promise you that. He changed mine when I met him the first time, and he's here today. Ladies and gentlemen, would you be so kind, all the way back from Bali, straight into Saldanha. He's here. Put your hands together for Steph du Plessis, everybody.
How's it, Oaks? Quentin, I'm sorry for stealing your material, bro. The problem is white men can't move. And old white men can't move at all. So I can't pull a stunt like that. So what Quentin doesn't know is that my team runs a website that markets colleagues of mine in the industry. And there are MCs on there. And often my clients are looking for an MC. Then they come to that website to look for someone. Don't you scheme Quentin should be on that website? Okay, we've got a long way to go and a short while to get there. Let's do some work. I'm going to try not to apologize again and again. My voice is not lacquer. So I've been doing this for 35 years. And I never went to microphone handling school, because I should know by now from microphone handling school that when you walk with a mic in front of a live speaker, that it buzzes. And I now did that twice in a row. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So I said to your colleagues yesterday that as a rule I work only with intellectual groups. But that for even I make an exception for you, Oaks. Because like he was desperate, and I thought I would make an exception. So we're going to start with a quick basic entry-level psychometric profiling test. Are you ready? Hold up 3 fingers, please. 3, man. Okay, lekker. With the other 2 circles, with the other 2 fingers, make a circle. That's the round one, okay? Put the circle on your chin. Lekker, so op jou ken. Lekker. Your chin is over here. So all that remains is for me to say to you, thanks for coming. Have a lekker day. Eben, back to you, bro. Because, like, seriously, what am I going to do with you? At school, when you failed an exam and they got you to write another one, what did they call that one? I knew you would know. So I'm going to do a sub-test with you quickly, just to give you a chance and to see if maybe I can still pull it together and see if I can have something to say to you, or if you really are not intellectually able. On the count of 3, stand up, turn around, and shake hands with the person sitting right behind you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Quentin, Wat gaan ons maak met die mense? Okay. Who was in the room yesterday, including exhibitors? Who was in the room yesterday? Show of hands quickly. Okay, what we're going to do today is going to be like almost completely different to what we did yesterday. Same thing, same message, but I really changed the angle on it last night, and I hope to add even more value. And if it works, then it'll be to your benefit. Are you ready? Turn to the person next to you, ask them, how are you? And listen to the answer. It's important you listen to the words. Do it now. Okay, lekker, have you got an answer? Turn to the person next to you, ask them, why are you here? But wait, you must listen to the answer. Do it now. Okay, stop. There's another one. Turn to the person on the other side, ask them, where are you going? Okay, lekker. So that nonsense in the beginning and the handshaking was so much just nonsense, just to like, let me catch my breath. You scheming that this is an icebreaker, right? Dude, if this is the best icebreaker I have, then maybe I should have slept in this morning. Because as icebreakers go, this is not a great icebreaker. This is not an icebreaker. This is the agenda for what we are here to speak about for the next hour. We had to talk about how you are. We had to talk about what the heck you're really doing here. And we had to talk about where it is that you're going. Give me a wave if you heard an answer, something like this. And if you're sitting more in the front of the room, look behind you as well so that you can get a sense of what people are putting up their hands for, okay? So read the room with me. When you said, how are you? You heard answers like, I'm lekker, I'm all right, I'm well, blah, blah, blah. Give me a wave if you heard something like that. Wave, lekker, look. People in the front, look. Look behind you, look. That's what they're saying. Okay, lekker. And then I asked, what are you doing here? And you said something like, well, it's a stupid well-being day, and they said I have to be here because otherwise I'm in trouble, so now I'm here. Lekker. Which one was it, him or him? And then they said, where are you going? And then you said, well, okay, as soon as this old oak is finished, I'm going to go for tea, and then maybe I can knock off early. Who of you heard answer something? I'm exaggerating, but you get the point, don't you? I want to call bullshit. Oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. They said to me, I must keep it clean. So I have to speak like they do in Ireland because I learned in Ireland that if you add an E at the end, then it's not only more posh, but it's not a swear word anymore. Okay, so I'm going to say bullshit. Then it's not a swear word. I want to call bullshit on your answer of how you really are and what you're really doing here and where it is that you're really going. And now we're going to spend 55 minutes talking about that. That's our agenda. A quick aside. If you eat better, sleep better, and do more steps every day, will you look and feel better? Yes or no? Let me show you how it works. This is yes, this is no, this is you not sure. If you sleep better, eat better, and do more steps every day, will you look and feel better? Yes or no? Are you sure? I said so to somebody walking to the car park yesterday, and earlier I went to a stranger who doesn't know me, and he didn't know that I'm the next presenter, so it must have been really weird when I came from the back, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, hey, bro, you look really good. I mean, I wonder what he must have thought when I said, the stranger at the back of the room, I said, hey, Swar, jy lyk all right. What must he have schemed? But you can even see from the back when someone is physically in shape, can't you? Give the person in front of you a rating score of 1 to 10. How in shape are they? Okay, this is important. If you eat better, sleep better, and do more steps, will you look and feel better? Yes or no? How long will it take? It depends. I heard somebody say 21 days. Give me a little bit of volume here, please. I heard somebody say 21 days. I don't know if it's 21 days. I don't know if it's two weeks or 3 months or 2 years. I just know that it depends. It depends on how well you do it, how often you do it, how many steps you do. It depends on your metabolism. It depends on a whole bunch of stuff. But will it work, yes or no? And how long will it last? As long as you do it. I should really finish now because I have delivered my entire message for you. Figure out how you're really doing. Ask yourself why the hell you're really here. Figure out where it is that you're going with your life. And then realize if you do it better, it will look and feel better. And it will work. And it will last as long as you do it. But hey, they said we should be here for an hour, so let me tell you more. We had to talk about well-being. There's a difference between wellness and well-being. I'm not going to get into all of that detail and noise. It's not necessary. But there's a difference between well-being and wellness, and I'm here to speak to you about well-being. I don't qualify to do a presentation on wellness anymore because I don't look so well anymore. So I can't do wellness work, but I can do well-being work. And there's a difference between these two. What is well-being? Well, well-being is really those 5 things. So I'm not going to showboat with you about my story and my life. Some of you know me. I've been working here with some of you for the last 5 years or so. And Eben, via Hannes and the rest of your senior team, thanks for bringing me back and back and back and back. I really appreciate it. But for context, so I have clients in some 50 countries, and I've worked in 50 countries. I was working in Bali in Indonesia just last week, and I made a short break of it. I know this is not important, and I'm wasting your time now, and I'm just showboating. And then I flew back for 26 hours, 28 hours, and I landed at Cape Town from at Joburg. We landed after 3 flights, and my wife went home with a Uber, and I jumped straight on another flight. I had a shower at the airport. I hadn't slept on the plane the night before. I flew straight to Cape Town. I was so sucked when I got here, I realized that I cannot drive the distance alone. It's not fair on you, and it's not fair on my grandchildren if I drive tired like that. Europe car is amazing. They gave me a driver, and the young man drove me here, and we spoke about stuff. And I'm hoping that after we drove for an hour and a half yesterday, I'm hoping he's going to watch less TikTok videos. And I'm hoping he's going to watch more TED videos. TED, T-E-D, TED. Make a note of it, TED videos. Watch TED videos. They're free and they educate you. But I'm wasting your time now because you're wondering, what the hell does Bali and all of this have to do with wellness? Well, I took those 5 pictures in Bali over my 2 weeks that I was there, just in different places. And when I saw them, I always have an eye out for stuff like this. And when I saw these things, I realized this is what wellness is about. The end. But still, they said we have to be here for an hour, so now I have to tell you more. Let me tell you what wellness is not. Wellness is not just about being safe at work. Wellness is not just about company profits. Wellness is not just about whether you eat well, exercise. It also is, but it's not only. Wellness is not only religion. Wellness is about getting home at night, not so broken that you can't live a life. Because some of you leave here in the afternoon so broken that when you get home at night, you don't have any left to the people who matter most. Go, if you agree. Not because this is a bad place. I have worked in organizations of all kinds, and I have worked at smelters and mines, and Hannes gave me a short walk through here this morning, and I schemed to myself, this must be the coolest operation that I have seen in a really long time. Sure, there's a little bit of black dust, but what you oaks do here is remarkable. Do you get that? But we do it so focused that when we go home at night, sometimes there's nothing left. Who of you have kidneys? Niere. Daai ander ding wat stikkend is, pel, dis jou lewer. Okay. Who of you have kidneys? Who of you know somebody that if they needed a kidney, you would give them one? Who of you know people that if they needed both your kidneys, you would give them both? Those people we will call your kidney recipients. And I want to tell you something, Swar. The only thing that really matters, not the only thing, but one of the only things that matters is your kidney recipients. The people in this room, they're strangers, man. Eben, when you need a new kidney, some of the people in this room are not even sending $10 for the flowers. Your kidney recipients are the ones that matter, and well-being means that when you get home at night, you have something left to give to your kidney recipients. Do you get it? But in order to change that, we have to change how we show up at work, because these two things go hand in hand. Well-being is about waking up in the morning and not feeling so broken by the day already that you are anxious before it starts. Well-being is about feeling that you can cope. Well-being is about living a life that's worth something. Well-being means that you live a life well lived, that you're a decent human, that you're a better parent, that you're a good partner or spouse, that you're a good neighbor, that you look out for the people at work, and when you see somebody taking strain, you stop and you say, "Hey, broer, are you okay?" I don't want to get all melodramatic on you, but do me a favor. Quickly glance to your left and right. Come on, humor me. Look to your left and right. Okay, stop. If I wanted to be melodramatic, I would have said you must make eye contact, but that would have been weird. I want to tell you something. Sitting to your left and right and front and back is somebody dealing with stuff that you have no clue about. Go, if you agree. And sometimes we look right past it and we don't even see it. You want to know what well-being is? It's when you choose of all the things you can be, to be kind, to be better, to be decent, to show up, to do your job, to take care of other people. And I'm going to try today to give you a couple of clues and insights that can help you to be more well. How are we doing when it comes to well-being? Well, here is some very quick data. They did a world happiness survey, and they test to see whether people are living their best possible life, their worst possible life, or somewhere in between. The best possible lives are being lived in Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. The people who live in Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and Afghanistan say that they are living the worst possible lives. We are somewhere in between. Now, you know that being average is not a good thing, because being average means you are just as far from the bottom as you are near to the top. But we South Africans are not living our best lives in general. We're in existence mode. They do a well-being study, a global well-being study, and now they determine, are people thriving or struggling or suffering? If you are thriving, it means you are not just existing. If you are thriving, it means you wake up with enough energy in you to look forward to the day. And it means that by the time you get home on a Friday afternoon, you have something left in you. If you are suffering, it's like you're carrying a heavy load. And if you are somewhere in between, then it's neither good or bad. Here's the scores for South Africa. Those are not great scores. Go, if you understand that. Now, if those scores are true for this room, it means that 2 out of every 10 people in this room are intentionally being the best version of themselves. And the data says that the rest of us are existing. Okay, enough of that. Now we can have a real conversation for 45 minutes or so. Think about why it is that people say that they feel like that about their lives. What is it that's busy going on that's causing this to be true? Now, this is just an opinion. I have no evidence for it. But I've been doing this for 35 years now, and I'm not posing with you. I have worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in 50 countries. And it is my observation that we are dealing with a lot. Yes or no? In this room, there are people who are single parents. I'm not asking you, who are you? I'm saying in this room, there are people who are single parents. I'm asking all of you, true or false? In this room, there are people who are nursing their elderly parents who are not on medical aid through their final suffering. In this room, there are people wondering, how are you going to make it to the end of next payday? In this room, there are people who are caring for their family who are unemployed. I'm going to stop now because I don't want to depress you. True or false? We're dealing with a lot. In this room, there's somebody going through a terrible divorce or fighting to try and keep a relationship together. We're all in it together. I mustn't get sidetracked now. You know there's a military university here in your town. You know that there's a military base here in your town where some of the best soldiers in the world get trained. Did you know that? And our special forces, and I have a good opinion on this, our special forces are still considered to be amongst the best in the world. I have a friend who was an instructor here at Fort Recce. He was a survival instructor. It was his job to train waterborne special forces soldiers. I promise you I didn't come prepared to share this with you. I thought of it now. His name is Kali. Kali was the chairman of the Special Forces Association until this year when he handed it over to someone else. Kali tells me this story. He tells me in final training, that's like 3 years in already. They fly oaks by helicopter and they hoist them out in the sea. So far you can't see land. And the guy's got a little tracker on him, so at least they know where to come and find the remains. And then they leave them there for 36 hours, alone in the water, with no life vest, and he floats. And then the next day, they come and drop an instructor by helicopter near each of those people in their final phase of their training. And the instructor does not go near enough to the oak so that that oak can reach him, because then he'll climb on top. That oak is out of his mind mull already. But the instructor will go close enough so that he can make eye contact and shout out at the oak. And he says, "Hey, I'm here now, and I am not going to leave you alone." And Kali tells me that in that moment, something changes. The oak calms down and he starts breathing. And they stay in the water another 24 hours. And the oak doesn't panic, because when he panics, Kali says, "Hey, look at me, I'm here, I'm not going to leave me. Do you get it? What if we could make Tronox a place where it was like that? Where I can look you in the eye and say, "Hey, bro, you're not alone." I know it's weird when I do this. I don't mean to weird you out. But how would it be if somebody at work could look at you in the eye and say, "Swar, I'm right here, I'm not going to leave you alone"? Wouldn't that be lekker? You want to know something? It depends on you, and on you, and you, and you, to make it a place like that. But if we want, we can make it a place like that. Now do or don't, because the choice is yours. And we need to do so before that happens. I saw this on social media a while back. Look at the screen. Go, if you can relate. Is anyone in the mood for a real conversation or not? Even with my croaky voice. No, this is a real question. Is anyone in the mood for a real conversation? Then I'll dare you. Show of hands if, like me, you can say to yourself, "Sometimes I wish I just had someone to talk to." You check, it's not only me. What if we could change it? What if we could make it better? Now, we already know that you failed 2 tests here at the start this morning. So we already know that I'm dumbing this down for you, because otherwise you know that, right? Ach, dis 'n ou grappietjie, man. I'm not just dumbing this down for you, I'm dumbing this down a lot. Okay. Hey. Okay. Are you familiar with King Sisyphus of Greek mythology? Now you should, at this point, I'm going to teach you a trick. You should be going, because I'll never know the difference and it makes you sound smart. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Are you familiar with King Sisyphus of Greek mythology? Lekker. In Greek mythology, King Sisyphus was doomed by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill for all of eternity. En elke donderse nag, that boulder rolls down again and tomorrow he starts over. and he was doomed to do that for all of eternity. And the data shows that some people feel like that about their jobs. Go, if you get it. And the data suggests that some people feel like that about their lives. Okay, enough now. Well-being is when we change all of this. Let's talk about that. I can't read the title of this book on the count of 3. You read the title of the book out loud. 1, 2, 3. Okay, lekker. In his book, which sold more than 100 million copies, he says just because stuff is broken doesn't mean that you have to be. Jy vang het, né? And even if you're the only oak believing the message this morning, it doesn't matter if the other oaks don't. I know this is weird, but I can tell that you're listening to me. And if I had your ears in me, I would do something more remarkable. Doesn't matter whether they buy into it or not. But if you buy into it, you can change your reality. And you can be more well. Okay, so roundabout now, some of you are scheming. Holy moly, I thought this oak was a motivational speaker. But I feel so cock now, like all he's done is depress me. And maybe you're scheming, I don't have an issue. I don't know what you're on about because I'm lekker. But I want to tell you in this room, there are some of us who need your help. And even if you are lekker, maybe you should listen up so that you can help us. If there's anyone in the room that would like some help, go, You see, it's for them that we have to change this. So let's get to it. I'm going to do a quick checkup with you. I'm going to evaluate with you the 4 things that I think are cornerstone to your well-being. Holy moly, he said I can go a few minutes over time, but I can't be here until 12 because my flight is at 2. So it's not on the agenda, but I'm trying to serve you, so let me try harder. This is a real question. I'm not pandering to my ego. Is there anyone that is really in the conversation with me, like for real? Is there anyone who is more in the conversation with me than you thought you would be when you realized this morning you have to sit in a hot tent for an hour? So then let's have a real conversation. So I'm a school dropout who went to 8 schools, blah, 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 very sad. Not so sad because some of the people in this room had sadder lives than me. I know that. I had nowhere to go after school quickly. Tell me, where did I go after school? Look at me, I'm a 65-year-old white Afrikaans man. Where did I go after school? I went to the army. We all did. We didn't have a choice, you check. Oh, it was only later I realized that I did have a choice. But we didn't have a choice. If you didn't go to the army for 2 years, where would you go? You'd go to jail for 3 years. Who of you knew that? No, it's a true story. I was one of the oaks. I decided to take the 2 years. It was shorter than 3 years. But there were braver oaks than me who took the 3-year option. Did you know that? They were called conscientious objectors. And when we found them, we moored them. But we would only do it when there were 6 of us and 1 of them. But they were brave young men who said, "Nee, not in my name." And they went to jail for 3 years. Me, I took the easy route. I went for 2 years. Then I had nowhere to go. My parents had immigrated. My children tell me that I was an abandoned child. I don't know if I was an abandoned child. There are people in this room who might have been abandoned children. I wasn't abandoned. They just left me alone. My children asked me, so did I really get home one day and there was a note on the door that said, "Okay, bye, we've immigrated." No, they didn't leave a note. They just ducked, and they're still there. We speak now, and it's okay as it can be. And I stayed in the army after my 2 years was up because I had nowhere to go. And then I got badges like they give here at this one unit. And then I got rank, and then I realized that I wasn't as useless as I used to think I was at school. And then I realized I wasn't as weak as they told me I was. Then I realized I could carry heavier stuff than most of the other oaks. And then I realized that when I speak, some of the other oaks listen. And then I made a career of it, and then it went well. And then 5, 6 years later, I was sitting on a bus next to her. And we come from completely different worlds. She had just graduated as a doctor. She's 2 years older than me. She had just graduated as a doctor. She comes from an impoverished family, and she worked 6 nights a week as a waitress for 7 years to put herself through medical school. And when she met me, she had just graduated. And there were young surgeons who wanted to date her. And then she picked me. And they all told her she was making a mistake because I was never going to amount to anything. And they all told her she should date a young surgeon, but she picked me. And then we decided I would leave the army and make a life. And then when I left the army, even with the badges, I couldn't make a life because I didn't have an education. And so I drove cash for fidelity guards. You need to think about that for a moment, that I used to have badges that made other grown men gasp. And then I drove cash for fidelity guards. I worked with men who wouldn't last a day where I came from. And I stayed because we thought we could make a life. And she worked night shifts at Baragwanath Hospital, and we ate rice and oxo cubes. It's not so sad. There are people in this room who have had worse. I know that. And then one thing led to another, and then one thing led to another. And then all my army mates came back from that war that we were fighting. And they said, come back with us. And I packed my kit. I said to her, I can't do this anymore. I'm going back. And she said, try harder. And so I tried harder. And I stayed in because we used to go back every year for 1 month or 3 months. Did you know that? And I stayed going back every year for the next 12 years. And then one thing led to another, led to another, led to another. And then I built a life, and then we didn't eat rice and oxo cubes anymore. And there's a reason I'm telling you all of this nonsense. And then I became so good at what I did that they asked me to tell other people, and then I did it, and then they said they must do it again. And then they asked me, what do I charge? And I said, you can charge for this? They said, yeah. And then one day a guy flew me to America to speak to 10,000 people at the world's biggest conference. And then people from 70 countries started booking me. There's a reason I'm telling you all of this. One day in 1999, I got paid to speak at the University of Johannesburg to a group of professors. And in a moment, I'm not seeking your applause. I'm trying to make a point that can last for you, because I can tell that some of you are hearing me. And after my session at UJ, one of the professors asked me where had I studied psychology. And I told him I never finished school, never mind studied psychology, but I listened to lots of motivational tapes. And I learned in the motivational tapes that my life is where it is because of choices I made or choices I failed to make. And then I realized it wasn't my parents' fault that I was a drunk kid at school or that I got expelled 7 times. And then I realized it wasn't the teacher's fault that I never paid attention. And then I realized that I made bad choices. And then I realized that I can make better choices. And then I realized that I stand at the T-junction of choice every day of my life, just like you. And I must choose left or right. Then I don't choose because I scheme, if I just stay here for a little while, it's not a choice. But it's a choice. Being mediocre is a choice. I'm not calling you mediocre. I'm saying if you don't choose, it's a choice. Tell me you get it. Choose, man. And then I learned it's not what happens to you, but what you do about it. And then the professor at UJ said there's this new thing called recognition of prior learning. Anyone from HR know what that is? It's a thing where the government brought in a new rule because people were previously denied an education. And they said to them that if you know enough about something, you can start studying at a higher level, even if you don't have a qualification. And so the year I turned 40 in 2001, I got to go and study a master's degree at UJ. That was a 7-minute story that I shouldn't have told. I'm sorry, but I'm talking about this. And so I did a master's in leadership at UJ. And the really cool, funny part is that then my professor quit his job at UJ and came to work for me to run my leadership programs. So I'm making this point. I scheme I now know something about well-being and about figuring stuff out. And I think there are 4 things that most influence your life. Holy moly, I apologize to you. I made you sit in 6 minutes of heat so that I could make this point. The 4 things that I'm going to share with you now, I didn't just make up. They took my thesis at UJ and they made it a prescribed work for master's degree students. It's an authoritative piece of work. And I think there are 4 things that define us. And I want to test you quickly on those 4 things. I'm sorry I made you sit through the long story. I'm going to ask you to score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 sucks. 5 is fingernails. Jy hang so styf aan, jou vingers is wit and your nails are breaking off. At 8, you are doing all the things you have to do at home and at work. But you are not doing the things you want to do. You feed the kids at night and you put them to bed, but you don't have it in you to read a bedtime story. At a 9, you are thriving. If you're in a bad relationship, you are not asking yourself, what must I do to make him change? You are asking yourself, how can I change so that I can make the relationship better? At a 10, you're living a good life. Do you understand the scale? Lekker, let's do a life score assessment. Think about your relationships. How are your relationships going on a scale of 1 to 10? At 1, they suck. At a 10, your relationships are good. And you know why they're good? They're not good because the other people are good. They're good because you are making an effort. Do you get that? Now, I have to tell you that the closer you are to 1, the more you suck at relationships, okay? It's not them. Haven't you figured that out yet? It's not them. It's us. How are your relationships with your neighbors? With your neighbor who has the loud kids and the noisy dogs? How are you with the other road users? How are you with the people at work who irritate you? How are you with your boss and with your colleagues and with your peers? How are you with a lady at the drive-thru at the KFC when she gives you the wrong order? How are you with people who call God by a different name to what you call God? How are you with people who have tattoos on their face? How are you with people who have piercings where you think they don't? Kom hier, ek ruk hy ding uit met 'n tang. How are you with people who are different to you? How are you with the world? Give yourself a score scale of 1 to 10 for your relationships. Now I need you to answer something so I can decide how we're going to handle the rest of this time. Who of you truly reflected on your relationships now and you have given yourself a score? And I am not going to